Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to address the top 5 mistakes parents make in youth soccer development. But before we get started, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel so we can navigate through the YouTube clutter, and don't forget, hit that bell button so you guys can get notifications when new videos come up. So let's get down diving right in. As parents, we all want the best for our children. Our desire to do what's best for them, our desire to make sure that we give them everything drives us. But in a lot of cases, what we want so badly, and sometimes we want it more than they do, well, it often kind of, turns into a bad situation, or, us overlooking certain things that under normal circumstances we would be aware of it. Well, it kind of makes, the road to youth soccer development not an easy one to navigate. And it kind of allows our desires to rule over our players' desires. So the top 5 mistakes that I feel that parents make, and believe me, as a parent in younger years, I have made some of them myself, and I know that parents today are guilty of making these mistakes. So here's the number one. Number one is inconsistency. We often sign them up for, training programs, but only for a couple of sessions, only for a few sessions. We just want to see what it's like. Or we sign them up for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 8 weeks, and then we'll kind of forget about it. And then we'll go back into it months later. The most common mistake is that a lot of parents sign up their kids for soccer training sessions in between soccer seasons. So you have your soccer season in the fall or in the spring, and then they'll sign them up for a couple of sessions. Again, it doesn't matter what the number is, between those seasons. Or as I say, hey, coach, I hear this all the time. I just want you to just give him a couple of pointers. Well, that doesn't really work, and we do not accept that. Well, think about it. Do they only go to school for a few days or a few weeks and then that's it? And then you put them back in again? Do they only go to school, let's say, for a couple of weeks in September and then back in November and maybe in January and back in March? No. They actually need to be consistently in school at predetermined times and periods, because the main reason is they need a continuous flow of information given to them, followed by repetition. We can't bombard them with information in a short period of time, and that's it. We forget about it. We give information at predetermined times, at predetermined periods, in a predetermined manner, and we give it to them over a period of time. And that's called a teaching methodology. So every day they go to school, they learn something, they absorb it, they train it, they practice it over and over again until they get better at it. And that's the way it really works. So why would soccer training be any different? The second one, which kind of goes hand in hand, is patience. Listen, the times that we live in have become fast with a desire for instant gratification. There is absolutely very little patience. We want it now. We want it our way. Anything in life requires patience to master it and bring it to fruition. Anything. If you plant a flower, you need to be patient, nurture it, water it. The sun will hit it before it produces. Same thing with learning. You want to learn an instrument. You want to learn a language. You want to build a business. You just cannot turn the switch. Everything in life requires patience to be materialized or mastered. Why do we think that training, and in soccer specifically training, is any different? Players must train continuously and allow the time to learn, digest what they're learning, practice it, and perfect it. It's very simple. So patience is another key component of a successful youth soccer development. The third one is stop looking for the next best thing. And that's what parents are guilty of. They hear of a new training method, they hear of a new training coach or company, and right away, they jump onto it. They try one method after the other, one system after the other, one organization after the other. You know, training methods do change, and over the years they have changed, but there is no need to continuously jump from one system to the other, from one training method to the other. Because at the end of the day, most of the training systems and methodologies kind of have the same roots. However, if we keep jumping from one to the other, it will actually do something that we don't want to do. It would actually confuse the players. It will not make the players better, but it will confuse them. The same thing applies when you take 2 or 3 systems and apply them at the same time. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, they go to this organization for this training with this coach. And Tuesdays and Wednesdays or Fridays, they'll go to another organization with a different coach and learn something differently, or perhaps the same thing, but in a different way. And again, depending on the age they're in, that will confuse them. At the younger ages, it's easier to confuse a player than the older ages. The next one is dishonesty. Instead of jumping around to different training sessions or different training systems, sit down with your player first and do an honest player assessment. What age are they in? How advanced is your player? What level are their skills? How committed is that player to the sport of soccer and getting better? There are some questions that you may want to ask. Sit down again and ask them, where do they see themselves today? Where do they see themselves in a year from now? Make sure that they honestly assess themselves and ask them what they think of themselves and their skills, and make sure that they understand there should not be of fear of what you're going to think or what you're going to say, and get the honest answer from them, and then make the determination should you spend the money to go into this training system. At the end of the day, it all starts and begins and ends with the player. So if the player is not vested in the training system, chances are they're not going to do well. Which brings us to the last one, which is accountability. Once you and your player commit to a certain program, after you sit down and you have that conversation about if they would like to be in that training system, not that you want them to go into that training system, but if they would like to be in that training system because it's going to make them better, it's going to do this for them, that for them, they realize and understand that, they want to be there, they want to have fun, they want to be engaged. Once you do that, make sure that you take the right decision. And once you make that decision to show up, make sure that they show up and they train all out. Make sure they want to be there and they're enjoying their experience. Make sure you ask them before you sign them up. Again, a common mistake that a lot of parents make is that, again, as I said, they think that it's good for them without asking them if they want to be there. That alone is going to be a recipe for disaster. The player is not going to develop. The player is just going to go through the motions, and they're really going to get very little out of it. Once your player has decided that they do want to be there, once the player has decided that they do want to learn and get better, make sure that they do not quit, even if they change their mind. Make sure that they're accountable to the fact that you invested money into that training and they're going to finish it. These are some of the top 5 things that I personally think most of us parents make as mistakes because of our desire to have a better youth development experience for our kids. Hope you guys find value in this video. Once again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you know when new content is coming out. Till the next one, have a blessed day.